If I'm researching a topic, I'm going to look for information from a wide variety of sources. I'm going to look for information in books and notes, articles and reports, magazines and other publications. When I get all of this put together, I'm going to be a little bit overwhelmed. I need some way to organize my information. When we study history, we run into lots of different aspects of what people do. It gets very overwhelming. How am I going to organize all of these things? The answer is a method called PEGS. It's a system of organization for categorizing the things you learn about history, about social science, about people. We're going to divide them into 4 different categories. P.E.G.S, PEGS. P is for political, E is for economic, G is for geographic, and S is for social. Keeping books organized in the library makes them useful. A bookshelf with too many items on it that are unrelated is hard to navigate and we can't find what we're looking for. This section is about women's studies. This section is about the Constitution. This section is about myths, and this section is about astronomy. If I'm doing research on something, I might pick books from several different sections, but knowing what section they belong to, knowing what category they are, helps me to organize my thoughts and understand where they fit into the larger picture, how they apply to the bigger concept. When we want to draw conclusions from what we study, we organize our information. When we're studying social science, the study of people, we use the PEGS method. We use the PEGS method, P-E-G-S. PEGS is a method to categorize the information we are examining. One of the biggest problems a society has to figure out is how to have control. How to control the people, control the business, control how people operate, how people treat each other. Who gets control? If you have something that you're looking at, the information is about rules or government, laws, if it's about the control of resources, if it's about war or the military, we're going to categorize that as political. Another big problem people need to solve is getting the things they want and they need. This is the problem of economics. People need to find a place that they can be safe, their protection, they're looking for food, shelter, clothing. If you're studying something and you come across something that has to do with currency or money, if you find something that has to do with agriculture or farming or factories, building the things, raising the things that we need, this is economics. If you're looking at trade or jobs, this is economics. Categorize it as economics. In order to understand how all of these changes affect people differently, we need to understand where they're coming from. Where do they live? Where do these events happen? Often, the places that the events happen in, the places that people are from, affect the choices that they make and the outcomes that follow. If you learn something about a topic and it has to do with the place it is in, if it has to do with the country, the city, the county, if it is in a city center or if it's out in the countryside, if it is near a woodland, if it is based on a landform, if it's got rivers or mountains or forests, those are things that would be places. Those would be counted as geographic. Geographic is this category. Things that affect that area specifically. We can talk about weather, we can talk about climate. Human history wouldn't be history if it didn't have humans. We're looking at the last category, which is social. Social means something to do with what humans do. What do people like to do? What do they feel they need to do? What is part of their culture? This can include sports, hobbies, festivals. It can include religions, traditions, things that people find important, their values, their beliefs. This can include food and artifacts, family life, language. The social category is all about what people do. So why are we putting them into categories? Once we put them into categories, once we organize our information and put it into categories based on whether it's political, economic, geographic, or social, then we can start making sense of it. We compare them, we look for the similarities and differences, and we can answer questions like, how are the political systems of different countries similar to each other? Do all civilizations follow the same principles of economics? Does geographic location have any impact on predicting the outcomes for a group of people? Does the experience of a particular group of people affect their own individual identity? Use the PEGS method to empower your analysis as you study history.